Hello and welcome back to the Luton Town Tactical View Only career mode here on EAFC. There's 4 games to play today, probably 5 with the FA Cup. That fixture's not gone in the calendar yet, despite the fact we have progressed past that round. I'm assuming they're having to wait to replays to resolve before they draw that out. Where we start away at St James's Park. We welcome Sheffield United and Manchester United, and then we go to Anfield. It's not an easy run of fixtures Sheffield United decide. It's a slightly different looking Newcastle as well. Pope's, for some reason, not in goal. Dubravka is their choice, apparently predicted-wise. But Bolde, Carvajal on either side with Pereira in the middle. They've recruited from Spain in the January window, but also lost players like Trippier and Bruno Guimaraes. So apparently no start for new signing Nico Gonzalez either. A couple of changes of our own just to make sure we've got the fittest players on this pitch. We're not able to actually go with our ideal 11. Lockyer will start along with Osho in that backline, but Vitic does get to make his first league start of the season. Wagner and Doughty on the wings. The game pronounces it Doherty. I heard a commentator the weekend pronounce it Doughty, so I'll go with what the game says just so it stays consistent, which is Doherty. It's also Pereira's first start for Newcastle as well. There's Martial making his first start for Luton. My favourite thing there in that build-up cinematic is it did show me who the Newcastle captain is, and I do love EAFC's insistence that the highest rated player should always be the captain, because it does mean that Pereira has taken the captain's armband for Newcastle, despite this being literally his first game. But Barnes was about to break through there. Doherty deals with that. Kai Wagner finds Ogbene on the left-hand side now with his 5-star wee foot as well. Tecatito. Ogbene. Give him the ball, get him a goal. Like, who needs a striking partner when Ogbene does all that? But frankly, yes please, because he can't be there for all these. St James's Park not happy with that, and I'm not surprised. It's not the greatest work from the Newcastle defence, but slammed home. I forgot to double check, were the centre-backs both Share and Botman for this? Just because I don't think Botman has a face in the game yet, still. Or if he does, it's not a good one, because there was a person there in that highlight that I did not recognise in their defence. I have to say, it's not bad going for a striker towards the bottom end of the table to be getting a campaign to remember, according to the UI pop-up just then. Barnes, good save. Heading not Harvey's strong suit, thankfully. That is Botman, yes. Doesn't even have the right colour hair, I don't think. Or indeed the right hairstyle. Everything about this image right here just feels wrong for some reason. Just a reminder, I did put strict transfers on. I have no idea if that actually curtails the AI's errantness with their transfers, but I hoped it would do something. At the very least, I think it minimises rival transfers and things like that. Chavez to Osho. Doesn't eliminate them, but makes it more difficult. Martial coming forward. First time I've actually seen him on the ball, I think. And he is tackled by Bolde, which is a weird sentence for everyone involved there. Luton Town's Anthony Martial tackled by Newcastle's Alejandro Bolde. I think it's Alejandro anyway. Pereira. Tecatito on the edge of the box. Skips past Tonali, I think that was. Still in possession. Lockyer. Of course, the ideal centre-back lineup right now doesn't involve Lockyer, so choice for captain is going to have to be decided, which is actually a little problematic because I'm probably going to have to go Nakamba, I think, as the longest-serving member. As Pereira equalises, I mean, they cut through us like hot knife butter. I mean, they cut through us there so easily. There was so much time and space for Pereira to just pop that one in. I'm actually slightly tempted to put Giles as the captain, as our best player and most likely to continue with the team for the foreseeable future, just for a sense of consistency and continuity. But Vitic got sucked in there. Lockyer blocks that pass. Chavez, Ogbene. I mean, frankly, any points from these away games in this month is going to be well welcomed. Ogbene does have 2 runs available to him. Opts for, well, neither of them really, but does get to Martial, who was tackled by Botman, and Newcastle break again. Oh, close to a chance there. Sambi sticks his foot in, gets the ball, half-time. Second half kicks off, all square, 1-1. As I say, I'll take that point for now. We have to get 3 against Sheffield United, though. We have to get 3, because otherwise we're in a bit of a sticky situation. But it is going to be one of those situations where, because we're playing seemingly like the top teams now, we should have a stronger run towards the end of the season and then hopefully recover those points in the run-in. But it just puts us in more peril now, which is not fun. Samuel Lukonga recovers that, but gives it away immediately. And Newcastle remain in possession for now. Pereira, Almiron. Isaac's in and not offside. I don't know, it felt like he stepped off there, but this is probably Gonzalez. It is. I know he plays in Italy right now, but he is Spanish, right? But it is Gonzalez. Or Gonzalez, I guess. But I always love these cinematics where I'm just talking to a random player on the bench as if they know what I should be doing. For the love of God, EA, just create an assistant manager. Just for that purpose alone. It makes no tactical sense for me to talking to a player about this. Doherty. Not a great cross, but it will fall to Chavez on the edge of the box. Tecatito can skip past. No idea that is Shah, I think. Sambi Lokonga. Martial, first chance, first shot, forces a save. Dubravka, who was randomly on loan at Manchester United last season, saves from Martial, who is on loan from Man United this season for us. Sambi Lokonga to put this one in. Joe Linton, the head underneath it. Vitic gives it to Tecatito on the edge of the box, half expecting a crack from there. Martial got the space. It's another save. At least he's forcing saves. As Dubravka's arm buckles there in the animation. Hope you're right there, Martin. What a great camera angle that is. Get to see St James's Park in all its glory in the background. Chavez, I realise should be taking corners from this side, as I did my roles rotation checkup post-deadline day. He's the best left footer. Lockyer, just give the ball to someone, Lockyer, not them. Get back in defence, Tom. Get back in defence. Doesn't matter, Doherty's got you covered. Probably be one of his last actions. He is quite tired. That cross falls to Tecatito and then Sambi Lokonga. Back to Doherty again, though, who just passes it to Botman. No idea what he was trying to do there. I assume find somebody in the box, but God knows how he thought that was actually going to get to them. Joe Linton. Almiron. Carvajal finds Joe Linton again. Pereiro almost turns Vitic, I think that is, on the left-hand side. I don't know what's happened there. Don't know if they just randomly rotated. Yeah, they must have just randomly rearranged themselves of their own free will there, because Vitic should be on the right-hand side. Osho. Nico Gonzalez. It's a good save from Kaminsky. Just double checked I was still on bounce and hadn't accidentally changed to one of the other options. Bunch of substitutions for us to keep ourselves fresh in these last 10 minutes now. Adebayo on for Martial too, the other main consideration. Come on, Ogbene. What? Who is he heading to? Who is he heading to? If they score from this, I'm going to be furious, by the way, because all he needs to do was take that ball down and then decide what to do with it, rather than just aimlessly head it on, despite the fact he was the last person on our side in that direction. Now, there's an option here for Adebayo to have passed that forward and got the man in there, but didn't take it, because, of course, he never takes the good options. Ogbene somehow doesn't beat Botman to that ball, despite being the fastest man on the world. 98 pace Ogbene has. 98, and I'm pretty certain Botman has 63 or something like that. I suppose that's 98 with the morale boost. Even so, he should be about 20 to 30 points faster than Botman and still somehow got beaten to that. Wagner. Ogbene does find Sanchez. That's a great ball. And a corner will be the final action of this game, I suspect, here. So, realistically, unless something goes massively wrong with the refereeing here, we should be walking away with at least 1 point from St James's Park, which is odd when you consider the fact I'm pretty certain we lost to them at home. It's Almiron who gets underneath it, but Ogbene back to Chavez. This was La Liga, they'd have called the game there. Still in possession, still in possession. It's a final shot winner. We smash and grab Newcastle at the very death. I say smash and grab, we've had a fair few shots actually. But full 3 points from St James's Park in the dying seconds. Wow, they've really put us in the rafters there, the Luton Town away fans, apparently. It's fortunate the way it falls. Just nicks it off Botman in the end. Left-footed. I'm being told to do a substitution on that left-hand side. I don't think it's worth the game. And it's Eric Sanchez of all people. And there's full-time immediately from the kickoff. A vital and historic 3 points for Luton Town here. At the expense of Newcastle, I think are fairly okay, but not spectacularly. Tim Krul, of course, on the bench. Gets his wave to the St James faithful, at least. Even if he didn't feature. It ends Newcastle 1, Luton Town 2. Crucially, in the background, all of our rivals in our area seem to have lost. And you can see immediately there, that victory gives us 4 points on 16th place Everton and 17th place Burnley. I can't even see 18, 19, 20, which is Chelsea still. Alright, so tournament prize money's just coming in for the FA Cup, which I suspect means the game has been scheduled now. And it is actually going to be the last game of this episode. We'll quickly sneak it in at the end there. It is Stoke at home, which is relatively kind. That being said, Manchester City versus Manchester United, Newcastle versus Chelsea knock out two big teams. I'm still counting Chelsea as a big team because they'll still do us over if they get a chance, even though they are faring poorly in the Premier League. Plus Arsenal and Spurs still exist, along with Aston Villa and Wolves for that matter. So 3 teams that would be dangerous for us are going to get knocked out here. Guaranteed. There is a little chance we could do something in the FA Cup here. I might have messed up in the week in between and forgot to change everyone's training plans. But the main headlines here is Kai Wagner in a left back because he's sharp, Lockyer and Adebayo in because Martial and Vitic were at like 70% fitness. Still, this should be enough to deal with Sheffield United, one would hope. Who is that on the tifo? Was that Ogbene? Because if so, that's the most rightful tifo so far. Based on what I can see already, I think that might be Ogbene because I think the hairstyle matches more. I can't quite tell. Could be Sambi Lokonga, actually. I think that might have been Sambi Lokonga on the tifo, actually, judging by the hairstyles I can see in the match engine right now. I suspect they don't do tifos to players who don't have a face in the game, and I think Sambi does. Just weird that it's him. Yeah, it is. I think you don't often see him in the cinematics, so I'm not used to knowing what he looks like. Nakamba heads that back out to Chavez. Tecatito, Adebayo. There's somebody on a tifo in a match in an episode or two ago that I still don't know who it was. It had to be someone like Giles or someone like that. Anyway, Chavez, Nakamba. It's just really weird who they decided to just shove up there at the start of games. Well, Newcastle's still third, actually. They are faring a lot better than I thought they were. That was a massive victory then. They've done well for themselves in recent times, it seems. Kiefer Moore will try and play in McBurney. It's back to McBurney. Sorry, they've got Kiefer Moore and McBurney. Apparently, Sheffield United are very much playing the meta at the moment of let's get it in there and get tall men underneath it. Bogle, and there they are in the wide area now. Someone's been playing Ultimate Team. Kiefer Moore is tackled though by Nakamba, and it's Kabore who can run away with it. Tecatito finds Ogbene. Sambi Lokonga. In a weird way, I kind of want Ogbene to have an off month here because I just fed up of making him the title person. Wagner. Chavez. Turns. Still Chavez. Back to Tecatito. He's going to go for it. It's sublime from Jesus Corona, who's apparently very thankful to me right now. Yes, mate. You're welcome. Welcome to the Premier League. He's chipped in with a few, but I mean, frankly, in terms of just raw output, not been incredible, but he's often not the one getting the chances either. So it's good to know that when he does get the chances, he will bury them. And the announcement, followed by a roar from the crowd, as they should. Wow, that was a wayward pass. Don't usually see that from the AI. Just a complete miss hit entirely. Chavez. Hooked over that will not fall to the person they're after there. But just keeping the... Well, I was about to say just keeping the pressure on Robinson there. The pressure evaporated, and now Lowe is just running. It's gone weirdly outside the box, that cross there, and somehow actually ended up in our possession. And Luton Town get to build. Adebayo gets Ogbene in, who just stepped back onside again in time. He's got time to shoot. He's got time to score. And they're coming to me again. Is Ogbene going to score in every single game this episode? Just outside the box. Fotheringham, not exactly superb there. But, of course, in real life, Sheffield United have returned to Chris Wilder as manager, but it will still be in-game Heckingbottom, who I don't think has a face. But Luton Town, 2 goals to the good as we kick off. McBurney back to Egan for now. Egan skips past Ogbene. More as Mike scores for Burnley. I love this bug in the game where they just first name everyone on the score updates. That's my favourite one so far. Tecatito's coming forward. Wagner. Still Wagner, just skipping through Sheffield United there. That's unnecessary for Sambi Lokonga, and he's punished accordingly. Norwood sort of runs into Davis, but Davis gets away with it. I love the differing fortunes of Tom Davis, by the way. Anyone who's a long-term follower of this channel and still with me will recall the bygone era of Tom Davis during my Tenerife save, where he ended up at Almeria and playing in the Champions League, as Almeria had a baffling success there. Obviously, we were ahead of them the entire way pretty much, but Almeria were a surprise top 4 team in that save and frequented the Champions League as a result, with Tom Davis in tow. And then in real life he ends up leaving Everton and going to Sheffield United. So there we go. That was expected at some point. Sheffield United's one and only corner with the first and only time they've actually managed to get the ball into the box aerially, and unsurprisingly Kiefer Moore buries that. I was worried as soon as they got a set piece, because that was obviously going to be the thing. I mean, superb camera work there. That was at what? I hope whoever was ever in charge of that camera never covers the Formula 1. Flipping heck. You wouldn't see it. It's a really good challenge for Moore, actually, but unnecessarily violent, I think. Kind of just realised how unhelpful Sheffield United are in regards to their kits for this game. Because I was just thinking the yellow versus orange isn't fabulously different. Giannetti steps into McBurney there. Did Burnley just equalise against Liverpool in the top right? Well, the home kit isn't much better. 4 substitutions from us as well. Doherty into Barkley. Finds Chavez. Wagner. Dinks it into Ogbene. It's Ogbene with help somewhat, but the help was unhelpful. And Bogle now just needs to escape a recovering Wagner, who is seemingly very insistent on not getting closer than 12 yards from him. But thankfully Moore's touch is heavy, as is Hamer's. And Kaminsky, what are you doing, Sunshine? Morris underneath that, but I think actually outmuscled by the Sheffield United player. Fortunately, the Sheffield United attack didn't amount to anything at all there. And Barkley gets to come forward with it. That puts Sanchez in. Sanchez, great ball to Ogbene. It's a chance. He smashed it straight at Fotheringham this time. Sheffield United awkward to clear and give away a throw-in as a result. Both of Sheffield United's fullbacks off. Chavez. Oh, into Ogbene. Is he on? That's 3 if so. That's 3. All 3 goals have come to me for some reason. I'm not complaining. Everyone's delighted with that. Who plays Ogbene on here? I think, arguably, it's Carlton Morris that is the key to this goal here. Because Carlton Morris starts to make a run, and the player that's with him goes back to track him, and that's who plays Ogbene on. 18 goals for Ogbene in 23 matches. Sheffield United will get the last attack of this game, however. Osborne on the right, hooks it in, Giannetti heads clear. Davis underneath that though, unfortunately, but Giannetti gets the ball back again, and that's that done. 6 points from 6, and Marshall not involved in any of it, really. But only smashed 4-2 in the end. Ogbene is indeed top goal scorer ahead of Grealish, Salah, Watkins. Martinelli and Almiron still there as well. This is especially impressive considering the first 7 or so of his appearances were substitute appearances, and some of those were at right wing back. Manchester United not particularly respecting us again with Altay Bayindir in goal, and Amrabat and Van der Beek in the predicted midfield, as the focus is once again on Ogbene. But with Manchester United coming to Kenilworth Road, it has just dawned on me that this month's fixtures were against the current 1, 2, 3 in the league, and then 20th. A fantastically polarising, bookendy set of fixtures. But we've beaten 3rd place, we've beaten 20th place, Manchester United I believe 2nd, as that's smashed against Dallow. I really hope I'm not conflating Manchester United and Manchester City here, because that would be awkward if I am. It's definitely one of the Manchesters is 2nd. Newcastle were 3rd. Bakonga to pop this in. Takatito under it, of all people. That's it. Aim for the shortest person on the pitch. But the predicted lineup of Bayindir at least was correct. And I'm fairly certain the blonde hair I can see in the middle is Donny van der Beek. So I think they got that one right. There's Amrabat too. It'd be good if the predicted lineups weren't actually accurate. I don't know if they are or not. Oh no, Man United are 6th. It is Manchester City who are 3rd then. Oh, 2nd. Martial's in though. Of course we get to play Martial. Lone rules don't apply. It would be hilarious if he beat Manchester United. Chavez, good touch from Chavez. Still got options. Those options vanished because he took too long. Sambi Lokonga taking his time too. What are we doing, Sunshine? Just play the pass. Doesn't need to be the perfect defence splitting pass. Just give it to someone else. Because that's what happens when you give the ball away. That goal for Manchester United is a direct result of both Chavez and Sambi Lokonga just not passing. I don't really need to see it again, but like we made that goal for them by just holding onto the ball for no obvious reason when there were people to pass to. They don't even necessarily need to pass forwards. If you've held on for it long enough that your attacking options have been thwarted, then go sideways or even backwards. Just find a new avenue. Don't just hold on to the ball like a cretin. It's such a shame as well. I mean, I'll be honest, I'm not fully certain why I persist on playing Kabore because I don't think he's ever connected a pass. Hoyland absolutely does Giles there, Anthony, because Giles has decided that attacking a person horizontally is the way to do it defensively, rather than, you know, tracking him and trying to cut him off. He attacks the space where he was. Right, great interception from Shaw there. That would have been a good ball. I can't blame him for that. And then the throw was utterly what? I swear to God, there are some games where they just go, we're going to put a negative modifier on the intelligence of all your players. For instance, there, where Giles holds onto the ball instead of trying to play it off to, you know, the person next to him / behind him. Rashford has got space to smash that against the crossbar. Thank God that didn't go in. Sammy Lokonga, I'm very frustrated the way this game's going. Takatito holds the ball up and gets tackled by Varane, even though he could have just passed it to Sammy Lokonga there. This is what I mean. Takatito, the best player we have, arguably, doesn't do the sensible thing there. And they get the ball, get it to Bruno Fernandes. That goes in. It's such a shambles. No idea where my defenders are, frankly, either. Takatito's still running here for some reason. I don't know what his run was intending to actually achieve there, because at no point was he ever in a line of passing for our players. 1 minute of extra time, and Manchester United are going to make the most of it, it seems like. Maybe not. And thus ends one of the most disappointing halves of football I've seen us play, actually. Chavez, back to Ogbene. Takatito. Sambi Lokonga. Decent ball to Kabore. Can he actually find a teammate for once? No. Instead, he seemingly passes it to their goalkeeper. I'm struggling to comprehend what that was. Right, interesting passage to play there. Giles up to Martial. Takatito heads it to Ogbene of all situations. See, that was sensible. Couldn't go forwards, passed it back. Ogbene, the only person apparently with a brain in this game. As Kabore once again just kicks it at Altay Bayindir. I mean, to be fair, he can't connect a pass, so probably worthwhile him shooting from there. Keep forgetting to actually change the corners in the actual team sheet rather than just the matchday team sheet. Vitic, Chavez, Ogbene if he's on. Another corner. Right, so far, Martin Vitic and Ogbene seem to be the only two people who are actually capable of playing football for our side. Takatito puts this in. That's bad. All right, we'll make the changes. Oh, they're actually going to happen now. The first time I actually make changes, and they happen immediately, it's when there's only 60 minutes. But everyone's really tired for some reason. They all started this game strongly, 100%. So I don't know why they're so tired so quickly. But Wagner on as one of those. For the love of God, Nakamba. Adding you to the list of people who don't have a brain today. Miles out of position now as well. He's got back, thankfully, but Bruno Fernandes sucks in Nakamba there. Thankfully, that space wasn't exploited for once, but that one is. Yeah, it's hard to explain this game. It does genuinely feel like there's like a massive modifier on us today for whatever reason. Like the way we're playing today is night and day different to the last match, when we weren't even technically at our best because I'd messed up the training plans. Theoretically, we should be playing at our optimum right now. Like, if you showed me these two games and asked me which one we'd messed up the training plan on, I'd have said this one. And we weren't even at our optimum against Newcastle either, so... And we did okay on that one. I mean, do I need to say anything? Just to be clear right now, by the way, Marvellous Nakamba is the one that's being focused on. He was the one up there, our central defender. He's thankfully got back into defence before they've actually got an attack off there fully. But Adebayo, still going, has got Barkley. That's a really good pass from Adebayo. Nice to see something good from him for a change. He's on the pitch as a substitute. Maybe he's trying to impress me now, rather than just, you know, resting on his laurels. Van der Beek. Manchester United's passing accuracy actually worse than ours, somehow. Liverpool are smashing Brentford in the meanwhile, which I think is good news for us, because I think they're not too far away from us. There's 4 for Anthony. It's incredible. Absolutely incredible. When Anthony's scoring against you, you know the game is broken. Who's at fault here then? Everyone, really. Everyone. No one does a good job there. Vitic's probably the best person because he actually manages to get across and nearly gets his knee in the way. I'm taking off Nakamba because he's been an absolute liability. Barkley does find Chavez. Ogbene has been found. Adebayo does get a touch on it, but it's a terrible one and Luke Shaw's there. The pass wasn't super helpful for Ogbene. Oh, and now Doherty has made a howler and let Shaw in. Fernandes. Doherty's had another absolute mistake. It's like we don't even exist in this game. Watch Doherty there. Appallingly bad. Adebayo with weirdly the right choice there. Ogbene at least gets it to Barkley, who does force a save from Bayend here. I think we've had like 3 shots today. It's just I think Manchester United have a 100% strike rate. I will check afterwards, but I'm pretty certain they've had 5 shots, 5 goals. Somebody look, I'm going to put this one in. It's under Amrabat. At very least, can we keep this in our possession? Giannetti somehow dodging their defenders, of all people. Our central defender there. 4 minutes of injury time because we've had 4 goals in the second half, or 3 goals in the second half. Well, we stifle their next attack, and hopefully that's enough to prevent a 6th goal from happening. They've gone backwards here as well. Rashford, the one for some reason who went backwards. Chavez gets Doherty. Doherty, one last chance. Barkley. No, we don't even get to attack for some reason. Even though we were entering their final third when the whistle went. They had 5 shots on target. They had 5 shots on target and scored 5 goals. We had 7 shots on target and scored none of them. I think this one says everything. I've turned it onto the save tab. Look at where our shots came from as well. Most of them in the 6-yard box. All of them saved. Whereas we saved none. And just a reminder as well, that was Bayendir they had in goal. It wasn't even Onana, who is obviously competent in the game. Oh, there's the Shambles game out of the way. Now we go to Anfield. Great time for that morale drop. Liverpool looking fairly tired, it has to be said, though. Weirdly got asked about our result with Fulham in that press conference, which, you know, was a month ago. Salah has overtaken Ogbene as Premier League top goal scorer, it seems like. And I suspect he'll find a few more here, as we are immediately dispossessed. Endo, taking 3 days to make his decision there. And that we let him do, really, frankly. I mean, great pressing. Apparently, we've installed the team from last game. I mean, watch the reaction times of everyone else involved there. The second McAllister turns, the other defenders should be closing off that space. But no, they just stand there and watch. Ogbene charging. Martial. Never mind. This is going to be embarrassing, isn't it? Endo plays in a completely open Tsimikas. Tsimikas into the box. Diogo Jota's unmarked. What the flip is happening? This is utterly appalling. Why is he unmarked? Oh, Nakamba's on borrowed time. What? I can partially blame Giannetti because he really should have covered that, but where the hell was Marvellous Nakamba? Well, that's a red card for Diogo Jota. 2-footed lunge from behind. Should be straightforward. Oh, no card at all. Okay. Well, it wasn't quite 2-footed. He had one leg tucked in, but both feet left the ground, put it that way, from behind. And no card at all. Sometimes it's fairly obvious which way the game wants the match to go. Nakamba, who's that? Vitic's under it. Konate finds Tsimikas, McAllister, Endo. Genuinely tempted to take Kabori off after 20 minutes. Genuinely tempted to take Kabori off because he's been non-existent in this game. Everything's gone down that side and he has done absolutely the wrong thing at every single juncture. First goal wasn't his fault. That was a, turn in the middle. But second goal was his fault as well. Much as it was on the defenders for not tracking Jota. They shouldn't have been given the time and the space for the cross to begin with. Oh, Vitic gets just about in the way of that. And again, more defenders get in the way of the shot. So Kaminski is able to gather. And now he's just hoofed it up the field for no reason. Great, cool. Yeah, hoofed it at Virgil van Dijk. That's going to work, isn't it? You're obviously going to win the ball in that situation. Vitic's first questionable decision there, as he started to go for the player and then realised he was going to get outran. Trent to Luis Diaz. There's absolute acres of space for McAllister again, had that gone his way. Thankfully it didn't. Martial, first time I've seen him in this game. 30 minutes in, Kabore, tackled by Simicast, does maintain the ball and then just kicks it out. I'm trying to be realistic. I'm not going to pull a Marco Silva and substitute him after half an hour. This is Kabore's last start. What? Just to be clear, what are these two defenders doing? The Nakamba doesn't even start running until Jota's already past him. Vitic, to his credit, is still running as Jota's gone past. Like, he was running alongside him, but he just wasn't angling in. He was just running in a straight line, as if that was going to help. Apparently, there's no actual instruction you can give defenders to cover rather than step up. There's just step up. Nearly intercept that pass from Virgil. We do intercept that one from Luis Diaz, however. And Nakamba does at least find a teammate. It's the only good thing I've seen Nakamba do in this game, is connect one pass. Yeah, I did question myself when I loaned in Martial. It is a first-time volley, but should have hit the target, really. Virgil. This half might actually just run out in Liverpool's half. Oh, no, there's 2 minutes of injury time. Okay, which is not really injury time, is it? It's goal. It's kickoff time, really, isn't it? Trent hoofs it over. Salah's onside, apparently. Giles puts his foot in. And then we go move forward, and there is half-time. I've taken Kabore off. As the second half gets underway, Simicast just, I don't know, was there a magnetic field around him that prevented my player from actually getting close to him? Because he just ran around him for some reason, even though Simicast didn't really move. Thiago plays in Trent. Trent at least straight at Kaminski. Catch the ball! It wasn't that hard of a shot. You could have caught that one and would have called that one if it was real life. But apparently goalkeepers aren't allowed to actually catch balls in the AFC. Simicast has gone off for Matip. Wondering what on earth's going on there. And it does look like John Matip is playing left back. Okay, good ball. Doherty finds Giles. I don't know what Doherty's doing over here. Giles just runs into Konate, because why would you bother running forwards when you could just run into a defender? Luis Diaz squares it over to Salah. Thiago has the run through the middle of Diogo Jota, who just makes one touch and renders Giannetti useless. The ground is wet, so I'll give the goalkeeper credit in that regard. But I imagine that's Nunes, is it? No, it's Cody Gakpo one for Jota. I didn't see the number initially. We're back to Thiago in the middle, which is always the dangerous thing. Do I have to put my defensive width on 0 just to prevent these holes from appearing? I don't know how narrow I can make them. It's not like there's a defensive instruction which is don't be a cretin. Luis Diaz back heels to Endo. Luis Diaz has turned Giannetti because for some reason defenders don't actually stand behind the attacking player. They stand next to them. Martial finds Ogbene. And that is Doherty played in. Doherty still running. Still Doherty. Still Doherty. I thought that got in for a second. I'll make the rest of my substitutions now. Endo into McAllister. Gakpo, which I don't think is meant to be pronounced that way, but it's a difficult one to unlearn. Is that was like? Back post to Salah. Kicks it, and I don't know who that is, actually. Both teams with good pass accuracy, has to be said. Weird that we're being smashed 3-0, when we've actually been decent in passing for a change. Just we haven't had the possession, I guess. Salah just walks past the player there. Second phase corner. It's not like Liverpool needed that, frankly. So I'm kind of glad to get it out of the way. If they're going to cheese us with a second phase corner, which, always results in a goal, then I might as well do it now. The amount of ball watching is hilarious. I mean, we did well to keep it to 3-0, frankly, considering the way the first half went. I mean, what was that from Salah? Unnecessary, mate. You're 4-0 up. You don't need to be diving into challenges. In fact, the only disappointment really is he didn't actually connect and get sent off. Adebayo's in. Oh, it's one back out of nowhere. I don't know why he's celebrating in front of the Liverpool supporters. That makes zero sense whatsoever. Adebayo, with a flash of brilliance by his standards, has actually just ticked over to 75 rating. So maybe that's part of it. Officially a gold card. If it was an ultimate team, at last. Giles is up to 78 as well in the background. At left back, 10 goals in 26 for him. Yeah, not quite Ogbene numbers, but he's still on the field, by the way. I genuinely haven't seen him all game. They have done, if Liverpool have done one thing other than just, batter us, it is keep Ogbene from getting any chances whatsoever, which is why I was very surprised that Adebayo scored. Just hold on to the ball, Kaminski. You don't have to palm everything away. Just check out everyone else's experiences here. Other than just claiming crosses, do goalkeepers ever just catch the ball? Because I have seen that. claiming corners and crosses and what have you. But yeah, 4-1. We at least scored here. Weirdly, less of a walkover than it was against Man United. That was real bad. As that was the last Premier League fixture of this episode, we'll just double check on how we're doing. 6 points clear is the answer. 3 teams on 22 points. Chelsea have picked up points in the meantime. Let's say that Brentford result we did notice was relevant because they are the team ahead of us in the table. Only 2 points behind them as things stand. Our goal difference is awful. Most conceded, but at least we're scoring goals, mostly. But 6 points clear with 12 games to go, having played most of the top 6 twice already now, isn't bad. Still have Spurs away, Arsenal away, and Manchester City away. But crucially, those games against teams around us, Brentford, Bournemouth there, Everton, are all at home. So as with these FA Cup fixtures, we are getting deeper into the competition, but I'll just try and bring you the goals to keep this episode's length to a minimum more than anything. It is a largely rotated team. We are keeping a few key players like Ogbene, Sambi Lokonga on the field. Have rotated the goalkeeper though to just give Tim Krul a run out, I guess. But Ogbene has a chance already. Saved. Looking threatening here again. 10 minutes in. Doherty on the ball, although he is running away from goal. Carlton Morris kicks it. Stevens is a corner. Headed clear the corner. Ross Barkley across to Sanchez. Lockyer doesn't really know what to do with it. Does find Morris though. It's a goal, and it's a good one. Actually impressed by Tom Lockyer here with this assist. I mean, it's more desperation than anything. He was lunging to try and keep that in their possession and does find Morris's run, who near-sides it. Mark Travers, who's, I think it's Mark anyway, at Stoke. I remember that one game he had for Bournemouth where everyone was raving about Travers, and I was just out there going, man, I'm not seeing it. And now he's at Stoke. Like, no offence to that. He might have some potential in him, like, but he certainly wasn't Premier League quality then, and I don't think he is now. Then again, I said the same about Aaron Ramsdale. Stoke's attack once again thwarted, and the ball passed forward to Sanchez. It's on his wrong foot to put a cross in. Still in Sanchez's possession here. I don't know what he's doing, frankly. He's assisted Ogbene with a odd goal. They're coming to celebrate with me again. Thank you, Chiadozi. This is why I kept our top goal scorer on the field, rather than rotating. Sorry, Ali, really. I'm not fully certain how he goes in. It's either a pathetic save from Travers or really odd. It's just a bad save. It hits him in the head and bounces in. Not one for the show reels for Travers there. Oh, Stoke with a bit of dangerous possession here. Campbell being forced wide a little bit. Backheel to Berger. Laurent, I'm assuming. Stevens on the left-hand side. Puts the ball in. Cleared. That's half-time, eventually. Right, so a reasonably comfortable 2-0. First half there. If we can keep the momentum going, I might be able to rest those key players that I kept on this field for this match. I think if we score a third, that might be the call to do so. But it is Stoke coming forward immediately from half-time. But back in possession. It's Ross Barkley being played in by Kai Wagner, and the Stoke defence has just left him entirely. That is 3. I have no idea where the Stoke defence went, but lovely little pop past Mark Travers. If his name isn't Mark, I'm going to be very sorry about that. And by resting key players, it is literally just actually Ogbene because the substitutes were the strong substitutes rather than the rotation substitutes. Stoke will probably the final attack of this game, although we do pull down Mame and actually do concede that free kick. No idea how you're supposed to pronounce his name, by the way. M-A-E-E. So this would be the last act of this game we are going through with 3 goals to the good. If they can get a consolation goal, good for them. Nope. Round 6, which might be quarterfinals for Luton Town. Manchester City beat Manchester United. Stockport beat Arsenal. Okay. And Leyton Orient beat West Ham. Chelsea beat Newcastle as well. So, arguably that's better for us. I don't know. But that's that from this episode of the Luton Town Tactical View Only Career Mode. Youth intake, nothing really new there to end the month off of, / start the next one. So we'll dive straight in with the match against Aston Villa. Oh, of course, of all those teams that we could have drawn, we drew Man City away. So never mind. But it does keep 4 games in March. The game near it did vacate its way into April. So it might be a 5-game April and then a 4-game end of the season. We're not beating Manchester City. Then a 4-game finale. Just so there's a little bit of space to talk at the end. So we'll do the 4 games in March next time out. We'll do the first 5 games in April, one after that. And then to close off the season, we'll go from Wolves through to Fulham at the end. And that'll see us done. And just in case you aren't a crossover viewer from the F1, just to keep things up to date in general, the F1 we're intending to try and keep every other Monday, and this will be every Friday and the other Mondays. So therefore, the next episode of this should be Monday and then the following Friday. The ongoing situation is still ongoing, and I'm not fully certain how much longer it will be a major interruption in my life and uploads as a result, but just about keeping things going. Thank you for joining me. If you are enjoying this and the series as a whole, do like, comment, subscribe. You know the deal. Thank you for joining me. Until next time, ta-ra.